Sorry, I'm muted. Let's get into it, guys. Yo, guys. Old Man G here, back again. Um, and the transfer deadline show. It's almost transfer deadline. It's almost over. So I just bear with me. I'm trying to just sort out my lighting a little bit, so it's easy for you to see me. Move that there. There we go. That's better. But yeah. If you're new to the channel, remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter at Red Devil Studio X. Smash like button, etc., etc. What can I say, guys? This transfer window, at least in my opinion, has been a disaster. It's been a disaster. In the context of, and this is going to be my reaction. Obviously, the transfer window is going to close in about 10 minutes. United have confirmed several times, really, that we're not going to be signing anyone. They're not making last minute deals. Don't want to make the mistakes of the past by spending a lot on players. And in fairness, I think that is reasonable. You look at what happened with Ten Hag, and you look at the signings. You think, why on earth did Manchester United spend 70-something million pounds on Rasmus Højlund? Why do we spend that? So I do understand the rationale with Manchester United in that we this idea of spending, Anthony even 90 million pounds on those players. Yes, okay, I know the fans want it, but yeah, I actually get it in the fact that when you look at our best players this season, if you can call them best players, Ahmad, for example, they cost us pittance. So it is very strange. It's not strange for the United board to not want to sign players. However, we are in a unique situation right now, guys. Smash the like button if you're watching, by the way. I'll get involved. United are 14th or 13th, I think. Still, I think West Ham lost. I think we might still be 13th. I generally don't know what the plan is from this football club. What is the plan? Is the plan, because if we essentially United are in the FA Cup and the Europa League, and those are United have to win either of those competitions to get into European football. Whatever people say about the Europa League not being Europa League, being in the Europa League has given Manchester United, it's given them money, it's given them attention, etc. You get it gives us a means to be able to spend. Champions League more so. So what I don't understand is if we're just going to see how things go, what happens if this? And for me, this Manchester United team, we're going to be lucky to win the FA Cup. The Premier League is far too competitive. I appreciate that we got the dub against Arsenal, but as we've seen, United, especially if they play at home, and we're playing at home against Leicester, but we're playing at home, whatever reason, we struggle. And with the likes of Liverpool and City, etc., still in the tie, it's going to be difficult. The Europa League is another story. The Europa League, we actually do have a chance. We finished third in the table. We actually have a chance, especially having played some of the top teams already. We have a chance of doing something here. Lazio, Athletic Club, Spurs, although, Spurs are an odd one. We got a chance there. We genuinely have a chance to win the Europa League. But we can't do that, in my opinion, with this squad. The reason why I show you the picture next to me is that for the last goodness knows how long, the reports were that Telles was going to go to that he'd rejected Spurs, and wanted either Arsenal or Manchester United. And Manchester United were pushing for a loan deal of some sort, especially having let Rashford go. No, we basically let 3 attackers go. We've let Rashford go, we've let Anthony go, and we've let who else did we let go? Rashford, Anthony. Who's the third attacker? I thought we let 3 attackers go. It'll come to me. Rashford, Anthony, and there's one other. Why have I forgotten this other person? I can't remember. Anyway, someone in the chat help me remember. J2S says news from Manchester United for January was more about getting the house in. I mean, but the thing is, J2S. Shout out to J2S, man. The thing is, J2S, is that this was a few hours. It's a finished club. It is a finished club. I mean, the transfer window is going to close in 5 minutes. It is a finished club. The thing is, though, is that we've heard this excuse so many times. PSR, etc. Fine, but I've heard this before. Oh, we're not doing any business in January because, and I should probably put the link out actually for people if people want to come on and have their say. Actually, let me post that. I'm posting a link in the if people want to have their say as well. So actually, let me just pin that out. Right. Okay. Yeah. If you want to join the stream, the stream link is pinned in the chat. So let me know. Yeah. So it's the frauds. They're frauds because they've said this before. Oh, it's always and the thing is, what's frustrating, and this is the difference between City, they're not even going to win the title. Okay, maybe their fear is about getting top 4, but they've spent goodness knows how much, 3 or 4 signings in January. They're not going to win the title, so it's just secure top 4 maybe, and they're making that investment. United, it's season after season, it's the season is crap. Okay, throw the season, okay, and start in the summer. So what exactly are we going to do in the summer? I genuinely don't know what we're going to do in the summer because potentially, and as Jason said, bro, we're trying to. That's the only thing that we can do because I don't even just purely from a financial perspective. If we don't have European football in the first time in goodness knows how long, I don't know how we're going to buy players. All the sponsorship deal is gone. All the money from Europe is gone. Like, so where is this kind of sort of unlimited spend going to, get our house in order so we can, our house in order is we send 2 players on loan and we're saving wages. That's it. We've not sold anybody, as far as I'm aware. Like, someone remind me, I don't think we sold anybody. You know, Mathys, I think, is gone. He's gone on loan. Ansi on loan, Rashford on loan. They're all on loans. Rashford might be an option to buy. Mega says we'll be okay. I'm assuming, knowing you, Mega, I'm assuming you're being sarcastic, buddy. So I don't get it. I generally don't get it. What is the plan here from this board, from Ineos? And it's funny because, you know, a lot of people who were pro Ineos, pro Glazers, who are still running the club, by the way, use the rationale, well, put the Manchester back in Manchester United. He's a Brit, a Brexit Brit, I might add. So that, make of that what you will. But, you know, it's going to take time, etc. I'll be honest, guys. If you're talking about a club that's in financial issues with debt repayments, that wants to build a stadium with some support from the government, I don't know. And then I don't know. Talking, yeah, exactly. Putting the Manchester back in Manchester United. I guess I got to react to obviously the signing. Manchester United did make a signing in Dorgu. It did, which hopefully will fix the position because we've not had a left back or left wing back or whatever for goodness knows how long. Incidentally, Shaw has come back. You know, he's been injured for goodness so long. Come back. I don't think we can rely on Shaw. I don't know the genius who thought, because it's not just about us spending money on ridiculous on players. It's also on us giving stupid contracts to players. Like the contracts we gave to Casemiro, the contracts we gave to Eriksen, the contracts we gave to Shaw. You know, why in the hell did we decide to give Luke Shaw a new contract, given how injury prone he has been? He's got 3 more years. What was that about? Rasmus, now we can't do anything about. I don't know. I think we can win the Europa. Yeah, I think we can win the Europa League, but not with the squad. This squad is too unpredictable. We've not lost in the Europa League. I get that. But most of our best performances in the Europa League or in the league have been away from home. For whatever reason, we seem to struggle at home this season. So yes, United can win the Europa League, but it depends, you know. We've not played Lazio yet. We've not played Athletic Club yet. And Spurs, I think actually Spurs have our number. Because I don't trust our defense, especially with Leacher out, and our goalkeeper. Although, could you make an argument Binder will play in the Europa League, so maybe, but, I don't even necessarily think that Binder is. We'll see what happens. Maybe over time he might come clutch, etc. But and give competition to Onana. But the opponents he's played have been farmers, and then when he played against an actual Premier League team, he got cooked by Spurs. So let's kind of keep it into context. The United Twitter was milking the Dodgers today. Yeah, bro. I mean, I might show that, but it was. Look at our new summer sign. Just guys, man. Guys, our signing was a left back from Leeds in the Portuguese league. Relegation threatened Leeds. Now, now the guy might be good, okay, but at the end of the day, he's still a potential signing. He's a young player. Sorry, he's a young player. Who might be okay. We gave Maguire a 1-year extension. I mean, the thing is, I don't mind that. I don't mind that because that I understand because you're like, okay, we're pretty solid in the centre back department. We don't really need to go out and get more centre backs. You already got the young ones coming in like Hayden, etc. So just some injury tax and experience, etc. Okay, you give him a 1-year extension, fine. That that is fine. That's better than, oh, we're going to give him a new 3-year deal or something like that. I would have done that, for example, for De Gea, for example. If that was possible, I would have said, give De Gea a 1-year extension and bring in a new goalkeeper in and compete if he was happy with that. I don't know. Album Glazes, Abraham Man, a big up Abraham Man. What can I say? What can I say? What can I say about the Glazers, man? I mean, it's closed. But by the way, it's closed. It's closed for another January, and United have. I'll quickly just check and see. Let's just have a quick look at what Fabrizio is saying. Obviously, this is just. I think Portly thought this was insane because he rejected Spurs. Daniel Levy came, he rejected Spurs. And then somehow he's now accepted it, probably because Bayern have been like, listen, you're not going to get any game time if you stay here. We want a fee for you. And I guess they've negotiated to say that they'll pay the loan condition. I didn't know whether United even were willing to pay the loan conditions, but will also offer a buy clause. I suspect United didn't want to include a buy clause, and that was why they didn't get it. Or they didn't want to pay the loan fee. I've got no idea. Let's see what Fabrizio was saying. Obviously, City are making another signing. 60. How many? Someone in the chat tell me how much has Pep spent in January, man? Because I'm sorry if this guy has spent more than 250 mil in this window and doesn't get top 4, he should be inducted. 60 million euros deal from Porto. Man, we're so far behind. We're so far behind, man. We're so far behind. Qatar come back. Yeah, man. Qatar, we're so 200 million euros in January, not even including the summer, man. I'm sure they must be on 500 mil this year spent. That's insane. And you can't tell me that United don't generate more. You can't tell me that United don't generate more. It's sick. Let's see what Fabrizio is saying. Obviously, for those who are tuning in, obviously the transfer deadline has officially closed. The January transfer window is officially over, and United have just signed Dorgu and Hayden. Hayden, obviously from Arsenal, who's a defender, and Dorgu, who is a left back or left wing back. And we've let a left back go and 3 attackers go. In Rashford and in Anthony. Like, I'm trying to think. We didn't let another attacker go, did we not? I'm trying to think of another. Someone in the chat. No, I felt like we let 3 people go, and I'm forgetting the other person. Maybe it was just Anthony and Rashford. I don't know. But at the end of the day, So what United are telling me is that what they're saying is that United's attacking options for the remainder of the season are Ahmad, Garnacho, Højlund, and Xerxes, and that's it. That's it. Now assuming that obviously that might be explained why Mainu might be being put further in that position. He shouldn't do that again, by the way. Mainu is not a number 9. He's not an attacker, so leave that at one side. But it's insane. It's insane. You might as well get what's his name, Chubiobi Martin from the academy. You're gonna have to, because you can't play from now to the rest of the season in the Premier League, FA Cup, Europa League with just 4 attackers or attack-minded players, especially who are kids. You're going to play Garnacho every game. You're going to play Amman every game. You're going to play, I don't know, and Xerxes and Højlund at this point might as well not even be there with the way he's performing. Amman dropped both strikers for a reason to show the ball we need more attackers, and they ignored it. Yep. Or maybe to see where Tell would fit, and they did try and get Tell, but he chose Spurs. Let's have a look at Fabrizio Twitter here. So obviously, Fabrizio, we'll go to what Ornstein said in a second. So Nico Golan signs for City. Fair enough to them. Lucas Gorner to AC Roma. Obviously, Tell to Spurs. Bournemouth signed. Okay, I like it. I mean, they're doing really well. Bournemouth are strengthening. Think about that. Loan deal for Nottingham Forest for Tanta Joel. I mean, I don't know why. The thing is, why can't we do these deals? Talented sign Tanta Winger Joel. This is why I don't understand. Is that buy option clause include foreman plus 20%? So I mean, I guess Man City has loan has been broken. Okay, fine, but surely United can do these types of deals. I don't get it. I'm not saying that we have to sign players in Jan, but don't tell me that there weren't these types of loan deals available in Jan. I don't know. Matthias didn't sign his contract. Another less than 20-year-old, 25-year-old player signs for Chelsea, but it's working for them. They're where they are, so there you go. What else? What's Fabrizio posted in the last hour? Ace from Chelsea. So Ace, obviously, Jarfix has gone to Chelsea. This was interesting. Fulham agreed deal to sign Willian on a free transfer back to club. So where did Willian go? Did Willian go to South America? He go back to Brazil. I can't remember where Willian, but he's back in Fulham now anyway. So can't keep him out of London, Willian. Obviously, it's more Malacia. Obviously, our left back, he's gone to play for PSV. It's funny though how Rashford goes to play for Villa, who are playing the Champions League, and Malacia goes to play for PSV, who are playing in the Champions League. I think that's funny, I really, because if these guys cook, then if these guys cook over there, it's like they're going on loan, but they're going on loan to teams that are better than us. Like right now, every player that's gone on, even I'd say betters are better than we are. Every player that's gone on loan has gone to a club that is in a better position than we are. That is fact. And you never know what PSV. I mean, I don't think when I saw I don't think they'll get through, but we'll see what happens. Any other things of note? That's the Roma. Fagioli from Fiorentina. Obviously, Jaffe is going to AC Milan is a big thing because, well, I mean, I don't know what's going to this guy, Jao. It's it's kind of sad, going from here, then everywhere. Jao, it's like, yeah, it is sad. Yeah, I think that's it. From you can see. Let me just see if Ornstein has put anything out. And then so Ornstein saying that what Villa offered Ollie Walker to Arsenal for 60 mil. Arsenal wanted to do it for 40 mil, no deal. Yeah, there's no way that what? There was no way that Villa were going to sell Watkins for 40 million. That's dumb. Let's look at some comments again. Yeah, how could we not get a single loan attacking signing like Nkuku for something like that? Well, I don't know. Apparently Nkuku and Leon Bailey weren't options. Maybe it's wages, but it's expensive. I have no idea. I just think I would have even the Napoli Garnacho thing. I'd have thought, okay, maybe, can we not do something there with Napoli? But Garnacho stays, value. Okay, fine. I don't know for this team. I really don't know. What's mad is the best midfielder we've seen in the past 3 years was a loan signing in Sabitzer. Like, just do something. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You need to tell me that, we can't do a simple loan deal for all the clubs in Europe, or not even in Europe, but outside, but certainly in Europe. You mean to tell me they were all in the Championship or something? You mean to tell me we couldn't do a single loan deal? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Oscar Glucker to I don't know that is a spam. So J2 sorry. No, I don't Felix that high, but I would probably take him in 10 again and just sad how far we're forward. I mean, I don't know. You're right about, but the thing is that who's the striker though? João Felix isn't someone who is going to score your goals. Do we trust Xerxes and Højlund to basically put them away? I don't know. I don't know. I just think we're in a time now where I don't really know what the direction of this club is anymore. Yeah, we do need bodies. We do, but hey, it's closed. It's closed. It's closed now. We have what we have, and we just got to move on with it. Really. I suspect Dorgu now will be used. Hopefully, he hits the ground running. Otherwise, we're going to just be, I hope that the attacking intent will be better if he's there. I hope it will be. But ultimately, if it's not, we're just going to go back to Dallo and Matswari, which I don't think has worked. Attacking wise. What's okay? So this is Ornstein. Let's see what Ornstein's saying. Ornstein is obviously talking about the Tell stuff. Oh, sorry, guys. What's Ornstein saying? Total agreement signed Tells from Bayern. Loan till summer. Optioned Bayern 50 million euros on 6-year contract. Medical complete and funding international points signed shortly. Also, Villa did reach an agreement for Disasi, Chelsea. So Disasi is going to Villa. Interesting, because Chelsea, no buy option, free to join. Yeah, but France intent on because the impression I got was Chelsea didn't want him to go because they didn't want him to go to another Champions League rival, which they see Villa as. It's funny, I didn't mind him getting sent to United because we're not a Champions League rival. That's how far we've fallen. But yeah, they seem to let him go, so I think that's interesting. Please, Chelsea, don't get the CL. Please. I can't have Chelsea in Champions League, man, and United not in again. Nico Riley, thing, yeah, these just Nico Gonzalez, sort of thing. Obviously, the AC Milan thing with David Ornstein. Okay, so Ornstein, obviously corroborates what Fabrizio said as well. How do you hire a manager mid-season saying now or never and then proceed to weaken this? This is what I don't understand as well. It's like, it doesn't make sense. Oh, You got to come now or never, now or never, now. Otherwise, the opportunity's gone. We've got plenty of options. And he's like, okay, fine. And then you go there and it's like, well, you know, we can't really do business in Jan, can't really support you. So, well, it's like, I don't get it. If you couldn't do any proper business in January, you know, and help this manager, and essentially what I'm saying is, if you're saying that this this season is a write-off, then why not just hire an interim, get freaking Ollie back, or get an interim back. Say to the fans, listen, it's a season write-off. We're not going to back him, and then just get Amram in the summer, and then give him his players and do it. If fundamentally you're saying, oh, we want to be financially secure for the summer, why didn't you just hire the manager? Sorry, the new manager in June 2025 after the season. Why didn't you do that? I don't get it. We play. Yeah, I mean that's we're cooked. We're cooked for Spurs. We're cooked for Spurs, man. Somehow we're worse than Spurs, I think. You know, somehow we are. I don't know how, but we are worse than Spurs. It just is what it is. Amram is just using this period to trim down the fat, I guess. But at some point we need to start winning games. Otherwise, this type of form can carry on into next season. So I get it. You know, I'm not Amram out or anything like that, but I just recall what happened last season with Ten Hag, where we were just losing games and we're losing games badly. But in the cup competitions, we obviously won the FA Cup, and that win kind of papered over the craps. And then we went into the next season and we continued to lose games again. What I don't want to happen is that we, even if we somehow qualify for the Champions League or Europa League, whichever trophy we get, we go into next season with reinforcements and then we just continue to lose games again. Like, you know, I thought the summer transfer window we had was good, you know, reasonable. I think we should have still got a striker and a left back, but you know, we got a defender, we got De Ligt, you know, we got Matsui, got those players for Ten Hag. I think it was fine. So I don't quite understand how we regressed. How is it that we regressed? You know, I mean, you know, is this all because we saw Wan-Bissaka and Fred and McTominay? Because we're worse, because we're arguably worse without, statistically, we are worse without McTominay, Fred, and Wan-Bissaka. We are. Amram is trying to ask the players doesn't want this season is just one season for him. Well, hopefully Amram comes good. Hopefully Amram comes good because I'm tired of managerial swaps, changes, etc. It is getting frustrating. But really and truly, there's only so many L's you can take at home, is what I would say. There is only so many L's you can take at home. You know, the amount of, you know, you're losing. Fair enough, you know, Forest and Bournemouth are doing okay. But now, you know, you're losing to Forest, you're losing to Bournemouth, you're losing to Brighton, you're losing to Liverpool, obviously. You know, you're losing to Crystal Palace now. You know, the only home games I can think of that United won this season were Fulham, Southampton, and Leicester. That's it in the league. Sorry, like, you know, I get it, you know, but especially when you do stupid experiments like you did over the weekend and trying to play Mainu as a number 9 and see how things work. An experiment and it backfires because you're losing 2-0. Like, you know, oh, it just sort of, yeah, I get it, but you got to win games. That's what football's about. Okay, and winning games brings confidence, and losing again and being in 13th place does not bring confidence. It doesn't. So I hope he fixes quickly, because I'm starting to lose patience, but I'm not liking this sort of gaslighting that we're sort of getting as United fans, where we just have to kind of accept, that that, oh yeah, it just is what it is. I don't know. I don't know. Big up the Don Ranger says, I'm pissed that we didn't sign Woody Webster for Preston. Best part about strike on the 50p. Even if I don't believe the guy exists, you know what? It would still be better than what we have right now. It would still be much better than what we have right now. Chris Pratt says, Forza Soccer, Forza Milan body. Forza Milan body. Milan actually did a pretty good I think Milan actually did pretty good business. I mean, if you look at Milan, geez, what businesses they do? Milan signed Carl Walker, obviously. They got João Felix as well. And they signed someone else. I'm trying to remember. I know they made another signing. So remind me, Chris, in the chat. But yeah, João Felix and Carl Walker in 1 January. Fair enough. Fair enough for Milan. But apparently United can't do anything. Like, someone needs to explain this to me. But yeah, we're not United fans not happy today. Manchester United fans are not happy today. We are seeing the continue. Oh yeah, the Mexican. What was his name again? But this is what I'm saying. There were deals to be done. There were deals to be done. Are you telling me that AC Milan are bringing in, currently anyway, more money than Manchester United? But the debt and the clearance and all these different sorts of things, I don't know. Boilos, Calibria, Benke, and Marazzo also. That is true. Okay, yeah. Maybe that's probably why you're able to bring those players in. Fun fact, yeah. Would just a question. Oh, sorry. I've been speaking too much. Let me just get some water. Much better. I'm curious though. Would United fans in the chat? Would you have taken Morata? United fans, let me know in the chat. Would you have taken Alvaro Morata at Manchester United? Because I don't know. I mean, him going to Galatasaray. You got Morata and Osimhen in Galatasaray, and I'm like, yeah, I'm desperate. I'm sorry, Alvaro Morata and Osimhen would be far better than what we have. There should be no doubts in anyone's mind that as strikers, as forwards, they are better than what we have. Morata's good at hold-up play. Like we have to. It's just. And it says, bro, we need to talk about Amram as well. He's not doing 71st with his dead start. Yeah, well, I mean, it's what I've kind of been saying. Like I said, I'm not Amram out or anything like that. I'm not, but I don't like this. What I would say, let's just call it complacency. Oh, sorry, wrong. I need to share that. Sorry, what have I done? There we go. I don't like this complacency that I'm seeing with Manchester United. That we're sort of being gaslit into accepting this, like, oh, it's the new manager, it's just how it is, and sort of, I'm a football fan first, and I don't like losing, especially to teams that we should, especially at home. There's no shame in this season with how Forest and Bournemouth are doing, losing to those places like away. There's no shame in that. I'm not ashamed if that happens, but I am ashamed when you're getting dunked on by those teams. And Brighton held 7 to Forest, and you're telling me that United couldn't do anything? Crystal Palace have been struggling. I mean, I'll bet they've had a very good defensive record away from home. I don't like the gaslighting. We don't have Italian players much. Oh, we only have. That's true. That is true. That's true. But to be honest, the Italian academy, um, Italian football hasn't really produced. I mean, even Chiesa has not been that great at Liverpool. Yeah, I don't know. Italian football is an interesting one, is what I would say. I'm not sure. I think now, if we're honest, English and French talent are probably the kind of the go-to talent these days, is what I would say. 20 people watching, guys. Make sure that you like the video, and subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. Let me just look at some comments. Yeah, Murat was good the Euros. I mean, Murat's been okay. Given that we are mid-table, bro, Don, right, we're not even a mid-table club. People keep on saying we're a mid-table club. Don, we're not a mid-table club. We're a relegation fighting club. And I say that because mid-table for me is between 9th and say 13th. And while United are 13th, we're not even we're losing to teams that are below us. Palace were below us. I think we lost to them. The only teams that we beat Fulham, but we managed to beat just in the end without being embarrassed Southampton and Leicester. We lost to Wolves. So when you look at those below teams, the fighting teams, we're not that different from them. We're generally not that different from them. We're not. The only reason why we're where we are is because those teams also are losing games or dropping points. For me personally, he's a good manager with the potential to do well, but his playing style is niche specialist and only suits certain club setups. He's wrong for United, and I like the guy. Yeah, I mean, but this is where I would say this is the board, because as I said earlier, they told him, they approached him and they said to him, listen, it's either all or nothing. You either come now or we go to someone else. And of course, I understand as a manager, these opportunities don't come every so often. And it's like, okay, fine, I'll go. I need to take the opportunity. So for me, it's on the board, Ineos, whatever, who, if they were going to do this, they should have said, right, we know how this guy's going to play. Let's get this guy in the summer. Let's research what he's going to do. Let's bring in the left back. Let's see what he wants, blah, blah, blah. Let's get his list of signings. Do it that way and get an interim in for the meantime and take him there. Whoever, I don't care who it is, feel good factors. You could have probably, this is the thing, guys. It was perfect, Don. You could have left Rude in charge. Don, you could have let Rude in charge. Who's now managing Leicester, and Leicester is what it is. But I'm saying is that you could have let Rude in charge, left him there, left him in charge, and then got an Amram in the summer. I'm not saying that Rude football would have been massively better than Ten Hag football, but what's the difference at this point? What's the difference? It was Santiago Gimenez from Feyenoord who we also faced, and these are the only bad things that we can register from these players because of lack of it. You can or you can't. I would assume you can't register players because of lack of Italian players. Wasn't that the issue, Chris? Milan needed a CDM. Lol, the next Kessie. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Kessie, man. But I think Milan, Milan's objective is they've already got is to secure top 4. I think get a decent Champions League run. I'll be honest, I don't think they're going to win the title, obviously. So for me, that would be my ambition to Milan. It's certainly much higher than where Manchester United are right now. But yeah, this is, I don't know, guys. It's been very these last few weeks has been very depressing. United fan. I struggle to watch Manchester United now. I really, really do. And the weird thing is, the best matches I played have been when we played against a City or Liverpool. When we played Liverpool, I was like, "Oh, this is good. We're playing good football here." City likewise, and that's about it. That is about it. Other than that, and when we played against Arsenal, because we're down to 10 men, it was a defensive masterclass. I did celebrate that. I'll be honest, I celebrated that because the referee was a cheat, and the fact that we were able to knock out Arsenal in the FA Cup in their own crib, with 10 men, I think is something to be proud of. So yeah, other than that, not much else positive to say about this season. Really, not much else. Do you think there is more than meets the eye to the Ashworth firing now? Maybe. I also think that was weird. I genuinely think that was weird. It was like, you go all out of your way to get this guy from Newcastle. There's controversies, get put on gardening leave, you pay the amount, and then you then sack him. Like, I would love there to be a all or nothing Manchester United, so we could see what the hell is going on in this club, because I don't know. Like, but it just, from the outside in, you just see chaos. They keep on trying to portray this idea of, oh, we know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. But looking from the outside in, I don't see what the plan is here. We can't remember some players for the CL because of lack of. Yeah, that's what I thought. Richard Hawkins, big up, buddy. We should have left Rudy. That's what this was saying. Left Rudy and Tron to summer. I was there in 2004 when we were relegated, and this feels worse, buddy. We're obviously not going to get relegated this season, but I can see what you mean where you feel it's worse, because it's like, because I guess in that context as well, it was the English First Division, and maybe, and the likes of the chasm, I guess, between teams does not feel as wide. That's the big thing. It's that I'm looking at this United team and I'm like, there is no way that we can. I just can't see how we can ever bridge the Whoa, I say that, but then when we played Liverpool and City, I was like, there's no difference between these two teams. So it's weird, because I'm like, I look at how we played against Liverpool City and go, actually, we're good. We're doing well. The best I've seen us play them in a long time. But outside of that, we're trash. So I don't know. It could be just something as simple as replacing Onana. But I think it's more than that. Maybe it does take free signings, a quality striker, another goalkeeper, getting the fullbacks to attack more, maybe another midfielder who can drive forward, 3-4 signings, and we're back. I don't know, but I agree with you. And I just think it's worse because the chasm between where we are and where the teams that we're supposed to be are just seems to be so wide. And I don't know where the end in our regression is going to be. Because the Premier League is getting more and more competitive, and this kind of losing becomes psychological. You get used to it, and before you know it, United basically become like an Everton. I remember when Everton recently were 4th, 5th, etc., top 6, top 7, and then they become, and I mean, Moyes is doing a bit better now, but they essentially become a just above the relegation team, fighting club. And that's where United are toying with, where we're getting so used to failure that's like, yeah, well, we're not going to win the league. We're not going to win something. So let's just try and survive. That's just unacceptable for me. Who was the manager back then? That's a good point. Management are trying to push out the 22 winning team. The other person they were pushing out was Tomori to Spurs, but he said no. Bro, Tomori going to Spurs, well, also being Chelsea, but yeah, no way that Tomori. I mean, Spurs have been very. I don't know whether it's desperation, You know, because obviously Spurs have also been trash. But yeah, Spurs have been. It's been interesting. Spurs have been doing their thing, but they've been doing certainly more of their thing than we've been doing our thing. I'll tell you that. Um, as it was before, when some were fans protesting the sort of well, this is the thing. So we got relegated, but we're still playing entertaining football. This is, you, Richard, you. That's the big thing for me is that if we're gonna lose games, at least I struggle to watch United now, like to react to them because we're just not good to watch. Like if we're gonna lose games, at least I want to be entertained. You know, let me like when I remember when Klopp came in his first season and Liverpool were losing games. They're winning games, but losing a lot of games. But there were high goal thrillers, like it was 3-0, 4-0, dropping points, etc. But they were entertaining to watch. You know, and eventually he got his thing going. Us, you know, certainly against teams with a low block, it's like, guys, man, come on, do something. This is boring. This is boring. This is boring. I suppose fans were more galvanized back then, whereas today everyone's finding each other. If someone, I mean, Player FC is a big thing. I mean, Player FC is a big thing in United right now. Obviously, people have their own agendas, grifting, all this stuff like that. Like I said, to be honest, you know, I mean, I know I could, you know, I could post or do clickbaity sort of stuff for this channel, but this is a fan channel. This is my fan opinion, and I am feel free to discuss and interact with my fan opinion with you guys in the community. That is literally the only purpose of this channel, and to basically help me to process what is going on at Manchester United Football Club. You know, I grew up in a time where Manchester United were beginning to be successful and became successful, and played very good football. And now, over the last, no, not even a decade or so, I mean, geez, 2013, 20, so more than a decade since Fergie retired, we are awful. We're awful, we're awful, we're awful. And I just don't see where the end in sight is. And when Ineos, when Sir Jim is saying, you know, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, things are going to be better and so forth, I don't really see where the promise is here, guys. I don't really see where the promise is here. But I mean, just on obviously the transfer, on the transfer, I don't know what you guys think, and I'll sort of give my thoughts. Like I said, on the positive side, I don't want us to be all doom and gloom. On the positive side, hopefully we have sorted out the left-hand side. If anything, it will hopefully get Luke Shaw into gear because he started training. And you know, I know I'm joking about it, but if we can at least get something out of Luke Shaw, that would be useful because then, you know, we can play him as a left-sided. Leisha's injured, Martinez is gone, so we can play Luke Shaw as a left-sided centre back, and then you can play Dorgu ahead of him, you know, and then Maguire, or what I would play. Yeah, you probably play Maguire and De Ligt, I guess, together. You could potentially get your own place, but that would help if we can get something out of Shaw. I think, and obviously Euro can come in to that, and then on the right side, then you can then play Ahmad as your wing back, or possibly get Ahmad in there. I don't know. So that is a possibility. You know, yeah, I agree. Luke is a good player when he's fit. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. But I must confess, Richard, I was very annoyed that he got himself fit for England duty, and then I don't know, and then got injured again. I don't know. I just thought that was. I appreciate it. A lot of young players, they want to go to the Euros, they want to go to the World Cup. Whatever anyone says, increasingly we're finding that, you know, I think a lot of people think that players think that club football is the be-all and end-all. But I especially think that when a club isn't doing particularly well, the United are, international football for a lot of these players is an escape. Going to AFCON, going to Copa America, going to Euros, it's an escape. It's a way to get into a positive environment, to do more, to do different things. That is how it is. So yeah, I just wish, it's just that I'm just annoyed that he got himself fit for the Euros and then got injured, and we've not been able to utilize him at all this season, because he would have been useful. Luke would have been useful. He would have been very, very, very useful for us, especially as like an attacking fullback or defensive like-minded one. Will United ever see a 6'3" merciful leader technical mission walk on the pitch at Old Trafford with their head up and chest out like their own? Which again, Cantona, man. Cantona, man. I wish we could get a Cantona type figure again. I don't. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe some of the youngsters can grow into it, but I just think you're putting too much pressure on some people now. Like I really like Ahmad, for example. I really, really, really like Ahmad. But now, because he was basically only creative player, he's basically being double teamed. He's essentially being double teamed. He's being marked out of the game. And if we had a reasonable striker, reasonable attack, that might not necessarily be a bad thing. But where we are. What mystified me is Kobe worked as a 10, so why change? I don't know. I think he's probably learned his lesson. I don't know. I would have even had Zirks. I mean, for me, right now, the Manchester United best 11 is, I mean, Onana and Bienda is pickle. Although I think that Bienda is showing good stuff, I think people need to be careful about overrating him when the manner of opposition he's been played against has not been great. Arsenal, okay, with the exception of Arsenal, I'll give you. I think the Arsenal forms alone, we should give him a shot. But outside of that, yeah. But yeah, let's just say Bienda. Then obviously it's gonna be Yoro, Delit, Maguire. Then you probably put in Dorgu in there as a left wing back. Then Ahmad probably is the right wing back. Then you play Bruno and Kobe in the midfield, let's say. Bruno and Agate, in the midfield. And then you play Kobe in number 10 with Garnacho, and then you play Xerxes. For me, that's probably our strongest our strongest 11. You could make an argument for playing Ahmad in a 10 position as well. There's flexibility there, but for me, that's I wouldn't change that. Keep it that way. You can obviously bring in players like Collier. I think Collier has actually done quite well, and he could replace, for example, Bruno or Garte, but probably Garte because Bruno's captain. That's also an option. So you could get Collier involved. I actually think the positive thing about Collier compared to, because the only issue I have with Bruno in that position is that Bruno doesn't have legs. Collier does. So that for me is the only worry in that position, But Yana kicking leaves a lot to be desired. But yeah, exactly. I think we need a new Beyond what not perfect is better than woe and honor. He just needs comment the transfer because there's a player there from what I saw him in his Turkish team. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So I think the way I saw it is, I mean, at the end of the day, the league is done. The league is over. So there's no point really in switching in the league now because the league it's over, and it would just probably cause internal problems. You might as well just see out on our team because we're not getting top 4 or top 7, whatever. But what I would do is I would keep Bienda in the cup competitions. So Bienda, he gets don't change, don't put Onana in all of that. Onana is just for the Premier League. That's it. Bienda, he'll be our goalkeeper for the FA Cup and the Europa League, and just keep him for that, and leave it at that. And then at the end of the season, we can stop. We can make decisions. I think. Let's see what happens. And yes, although Ahmad has done okay as wing back, I love Toby's energy. Yeah, I agree. I think we need to at least try it again and see. Certainly against Spurs, we'll see what happens with that. I think I'd be curious to see. But Spurs obviously have improved themselves as well. So let's see what happens. Fred would have cooked in the. He would have. Both. I think Fred and Wan-Bissaka would have cooked. Funnily enough, the two players that Ten Hag left, that let go, I think both of them would have cooked. Personally, I still think that Fred leaving, fucked up our midfield, in my personal opinion. And McTominay leaving, as much as people had issues with the guy, he still contributed. He scored a lot of our goals. I don't know why we didn't. Like, guys, I would have McTominay as the number 9. I would have had, if we kept him. I know it's to some people, but I would have had McTominay as number 9. I'd have said McTominay be number 9 because I think McTominay at this rate would have been a better number 9 than Højlund at this rate. At least for finishing and hold up play, positioning, etc. So, but anyway, yeah, I keep bringing in the cups. Yeah. So I mean, overall, and we'll begin to wrap up this, guys. The window has been disappointing, and I just hope that we can salvage something from this season, because it just feels like this season's becoming to be like just a complete waste of time. We got to salvage something from it. We have to. And I hope that all of this, we're going to be saving money for the summer, blah blah blah. It's not just a front. It's not just a front. That if we are, we're going to deeply, because my worry is, well, I have 2 worries. The first worry is that actually it's a front, and we're not going to spend as much money in the summer transfer window. The second worry is that, and the worst worry is that we do that, we spend all the money, we give them the backing, and it doesn't work. Because what can't happen is what next season is what's happening now in the league. Okay, so if we give Amrin the money, he'll obviously have a preseason, he'll implement stuff that will help. But what can't happen is for this to continue happening. Because if you're now losing 6, I mean, they showed a stat, I think. I remember showing a stat. I'll find it somewhere where they showed in fact, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. 1 second. I'll show you this stat. I'll just where is it? It's not that one. Yeah. I can't see it. But anyway, the point of the stat was that Ruben, it was the fastest to 5 home was it 5 or 6 home losses or something? 5 home losses, and Ruben Amrin was up there. Basically, I didn't know. Fun fact, I didn't know Jose Mourinho, and we've got to give some respect, love to the guy. Jose Mourinho never lost in his tenure in the league anyway. Forget about cup competitions. Jose Mourinho never lost 5 home games at all for Manchester United. I didn't know that stat. Obviously they showed the teams, and I think the top is Amram, followed by Ten Hag, who took about 28 or something. Then Van Gaal, then Moyes, I think. No, it was Ruben Amram, Moyes, Ten Hag, Van Gaal, Ollie, and then Ragnick and Jose didn't lose five home games, which made me respect Jose even more, because for all the trash talking Jose Mourinho got, in retrospect, a lot of what he said was correct. And still to date, you can make a case that he's probably been United's most successful manager in terms of the squad that he had and what he won in the Europa League and the Carabao. So there is that. Before we bounce, Fred and McTominay were good squad players. Couldn't put them together. Oh, cool. I always said they were good squad players. Fred, McTominay, from the pace in the midfield, etc. As soon as Fred left, in my opinion, we had zero pace, zero press. I saw all the time the pressing to help start our attack, the pace. McTominay with his goals and things, they're out of the team. Wan-Bissaka was defense abilities. I don't think it's a coincidence that we're worse. And I think that people thought that just by getting rid of those players, we're going to magically get better. Squad actually working on my system. Richard Daniels, Big Richard says, Casemiro has an eye for goal, especially from set pieces. Maguire should score more from set pieces. I agree. Sorts for defense and score that way till the end of the season. Yeah, but I mean, Amram looks like he's not really going to play Casemiro that much. I think he wanted him to be moved on, frankly. Maguire can score from set pieces, but how many does he score really? How many does he score? Not that many. So we need to do more than that. I see what you're saying, but we need to do more than that. We can't spend 200 million on players every year. I agree we can't. But City have just dropped 200 million pounds this January window. And I'm not saying that to say we should spend. What I'm trying to say is that that's the competition. That's where we are now, where Manchester City can just drop 200 million pounds in a January transfer window like that. And we're trying to bridge the gap to them. And that's City. That's not Liverpool. That's not Arsenal, who obviously, way ahead in their development because of Arteta and what have you, and good investments and financial planning as well. So, Arsenal, to be honest, are the only example of a team where I'm like, okay, it could work. Although they've spent money, I think they have. But, that's the team where you're like, okay, maybe that's a model that you could adapt. Chelsea, goodness knows what Chelsea are doing. But whatever it is, Chelsea have spent more than $1 billion, and they're where they are. So, can United win 2 million every year? They can't. We can't. But the competition is, and that's the problem. And a lot of these teams like Villa, Bournemouth, Nottingham, etc., they're also spending money, and they're doing it smartly, where they're getting these nice loan deals, where they're setting off academy talent, so they're not breaching a PF or whatever a financial. They're more astute with how they bring in signings than we are. Get a loan deal here. So we'll sign a sort of upcoming talent there into a system, into a team. United, I don't know what we're doing. Have a bad feeling that Tells goals will eliminate us in the Europa League. Oh man, you know what would be funny if Tells goals eliminate and then Marcus Rashford gets to a Champions League semi with Villa. That would be funny. Obviously, Villa aren't winning the Champions League. There's no way they are, but it would be funny, So we're going to stick with Amrim. We need to start teaching our coming players. Well, exactly, we do. Just like, well, I don't even know what. I guess the positive about Amrim is at least now we know what style of play he wants. I mean, it's obvious how Amrim wants to play. It's obvious. In 2 or 3 years, I didn't know what Ten Hag wants to do. I think he just abandoned his philosophy. Here, he's going to stick to it. And so in that case, yes, we should teach our academy players. You should be involved. And we should see what happens. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really appreciate everyone in the chat. Big up Richard, Richard Daniels and Richard Hawkins. Both of the Richards in the chat, as well as Don Ragnar and Jay Twist. Everyone got involved. Really appreciate it. It's been an interesting, it has been an interesting transfer window. More to reflect on, I think. More to reflect on. Hopefully, I'll be live. In fact, let me have a quick look. Let's just quickly look. I'm gonna have a quick look at our upcoming games, and we'll see. Let's have a look. 13th in the Premier League, man. It's a joke. Yeah, we're playing. Oh, Leicester. Oh, I'm working. I'm working this weekend, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to live stream United Leicester. Also, oh wait, how? Wait, we're playing. No, it's the week after. Okay, fine. Okay, okay. I will be available the week after to see us get potentially battered by Spurs away. But Leicester on Friday at 8 o'clock. Hopefully we can at least get them. We're better than Leicester at least. So you'd like to think we should be able to get through to the FA Cup, because at the end of the day, the cup competition is the only thing we have. The cup competitions are the only thing we have. Who's still in it? Let's see who's still in it. It's a big team. So City is still in it. Newcastle, Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs, Forest, even. Yeah, Villa and Spurs having an away thing. But yeah, it's the FA Cup is going to be difficult. I think our easiest trophy is to actually win the Europa League, and let's see what happens. But yeah, and you're right. Thursday is the Munich anniversary. It is, and hopefully have a video out. Then obviously sort of remembering obviously what happened on that tragic day. I mean, it's just painful, because you're kind of like, the state of this club right now is just an embarrassment to what happened on that day so many years ago. You know, I just hope that going into that game against Leicester, that some of these players just take some pride and actually just play for the badge and produce an entertaining performance for the crowd in honor of those guys, because we need some pride in these guys for once. It's getting tiring seeing this team, this club, let its fans down over and over and over again. I'm tired of it. Right, guys. Peace out, guys. Have a good evening. I will see you. I will see you soon. Hopefully, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Bottom right corner, smash the notification button so you know when I get live. Have a nice day, guys, and cheers. Peace.